and storing information using codes. So just to get some perspective on the amount of people that are using QR codes, 11 million US households will scan a QR code in 2020. Next, I will just briefly be going over what this presentation covers. So first, I'll be talking about what QR codes are, then moving on to what QR codes are used for, followed by where you find QR codes and some things that it can be used for as well connected to where you find them, and then how to use QR codes and specifically how to use it on different devices, and then how to create your own QR codes, security issues with QR codes, as well as being safe while using the codes. So to start off, what are QR codes? I'm not sure if many of you know this, but QR does stand for quick response. And QR codes are a type of matrix barcode. And barcodes are a machine-readable label that contains information about something. There's many different things that it can be about. I'll cover that soon, but sorry. And you can think of barcodes as things as the barcodes that you see at supermarkets. So next, I'll be talking about what QR codes are used for. So first, you can use it for simple text. So if you want to have a message or a little blurb of text at conferences or events, it can be used for people to scan it and then that will come up. You can also use it to access addresses, whether it's for business or personal use, as well as phone numbers, email addresses, for both personal and business use again. And then you can also use them for URLs, which will then take you to a specific website. And then there's also social media that you can use it with, and many other different forms. These are just the main, most common used forms of QR codes. So you might be thinking, where do you find QR codes? So there are many places that you can find QR codes, and it's really unlimited to anything, any place, anywhere. But some common places are business cards, packaging, magazines, as well as websites, billboards, and flyers. So with all these different places that you can find QR codes, it'll lead to a different type of information. And then you can also use QR codes with social media and even scan the codes to follow different accounts. And then overall, you can really find QR codes anywhere that can be scanned by a smartphone. So whether it's in public spaces or maybe at a school, really anywhere there can be QR codes. Next, I will be briefly discussing which devices you can scan QR codes on. So mainly people like to use smartphones because they're readily accessible and they usually have them on them. But you can also scan them on iPads and iPods, as well as Android tablets and computers. So really any device that you can either get an app for QR code scanning or has a camera to scan it, you can use. Next, I will be talking more specifically about using QR codes on a smartphone or a tablet. So you can instantly read codes using a smartphone or tablet's camera. And this can be both Android and Apple devices. To do this, you first open the camera app on your device. You will then focus the camera onto the code and point the camera into the direction of what you're scanning. Then you may have to wait for a few moments to get the camera to recognize it. And if it's not focusing, you can just tap the screen so that it focuses in. and then you click the pop-up notification at the top of the screen that will come up after it has recognized the QR code and found what information it leads to. And a note about that is that sometimes you do have to enable scanning in your settings because not all devices automatically just scan QR codes, but most do. Next is using QR codes with a computer. So to do this, you can download QR code scanning apps on your computer to scan your codes. Apps work very similar to the apps you can get on smartphones and tablets. Next are a few scanning apps and really how to use them. And then I will also be giving you some recommendations for ones that you could possibly get if you're interested in them. So you can also use QR code scanning apps that you download from the App Store or the Google Play Store. And apps for scanning are available on smartphones, tablets, or computers, as long as you are logged into the store. And to get an app, you can go to the store, and then you can find an app for QR code scanning that suits you best, and then you can just download it. Here are some recommendations for the actual apps. So this first one is called QR Code Scanner and Barcode, and it's for Apple devices, iPhone and iPad. It is free, reliable, and fast. And you can see the icon of the app just below with this screenshot. The next recommendation is called Code Reader-QR Reader. And you can see the icon to the right. So this app is for Apple devices, iPhone, iPad, and Macs, and it is free, fast, and easy to use. The next recommendation is called Kaspersky's QR Scanner, and it can be used on both Android and Apple devices for phones and tablets, or for an Apple device, iPhone and iPads. And it is free, safe, and easy to use. So below you can see the icon for the Apple version of the app, and then to the right you can see what it looks like in the Android store. Next, you also have the possibility to create your own QR codes. There are a few things that you need to do before you start creating them. First, make sure you know what information you want to store on it, whether it's a URL, an address, or any of those things that I mentioned at the beginning. You can then find your QR code generator that suits you best. So there are both websites and apps. I've already mentioned a few of the apps, and soon I will be mentioning some of the websites. So here are the websites. The first one is called QR Code Generator. It is free, and you can create a secure account with this website. And just below that, you can see the URL that you can click to get there, or you can just search it up in the search bar, but you'll be sent a copy of this slideshow at the end, so you'll be able to access the direct link. And the second one is called QR Code Monkey, and it is, again, free and easy to use. And the URL is just below. And I will also be going over how to actually use these websites at the end with a live demonstration. Next are security issues with QR codes. There is some danger when it comes to using and creating QR codes. If you don't know what information the code contains, you may run into security issues. And some QR codes can hide malware that attacks your phone or device once you scan it and open the information. So these are just a few things that you should always be aware of. And as many of us know, there are risks with almost every type of technology. but I will also be discussing how to stay safe. So staying safe is very important when using QR codes. And to do this, you can just follow these 3 simple points. So first, make sure that the person, company, or program you are getting the code from is trustworthy and you know them personally, or you know that they're a reputable company. And second, make sure you know where the code will lead you. So knowing what is going to pop up on your screen when it gets there will help you to know if there's anything that's not going right or something that is not supposed to be there. And third is don't scan any codes you receive in emails unless you are expecting it or have confirmed with the person that it is safe. Because there are many people out there that are sending phishing emails and emails that take you to links that attack your computer. Just make sure that you're only scanning codes that you know where they came from. So I also included this kind of cool activity that you guys can do so you can try it out. So all you need to do is just grab your smartphone or tablet, open the camera app, and then point it at the QR code and click the notification that comes up. So I'll give you a few moments to try that out if you'd like. You can also try it when you get the copy from Macaulay in a few, either tonight or in a few days. And just so you know, I did create the code, so it is safe and it won't lead you to anything that will be bad for your device or for you. But now I'm just going to go over a little quick live demonstration just to show you a bit about actually creating some codes yourself, because it's nice to really be able to apply the knowledge that you've gotten. So the first site that I did mention is called QR Code Generator. So the first thing that I'd like to mention is that you can sign up if you'd like by clicking this sign up button, the blue one. And then you can just select what you're using it for. It can be personal use or any of these options. And then you just put in your email and a password, and then you can just sign up now. And as well with that, you do get to try out all of the features for free for 14 days. And then if you already have an account, you can just feel free to log in right there. And having an account really just helps to save all of the codes that you've created in one place, and it makes your life a little easier if you feel that you're going to be creating a lot of codes or that you want to have easy access to them in one place. So next, I'll be talking about the different categories of things that you can do that will lead to the QR code. So as you can see, there's a lot of different options here. So if you click URL, you can just enter a website here, and I'll be coming back to this after and actually creating one with a URL. You can also use a vCard for your QR code. You can simply display a blurb of text. So if I just wanted to say hi, this would be the QR code here that would lead to that text. You can just either take a screenshot or save it by downloading it here, or you can also print it by clicking the print button over here. There's also the option to put an email behind the QR code, a text message, connect to Wi-Fi, request crypto payments, a tweet, Facebook, a PDF, but you do need to sign up. As you can see the big sign up button here, you do need to sign up to do these ones. And then App Store, as well as images. So I'll just be quickly actually showing you how to make one. So if you're wanting to connect it to a website, you can just type, I've copy and pasted it, but you can type it in or paste it in. So I've got the Cyber Seniors website. And then from here, on this particular website, you have the chance to choose a frame. So you can put Scan Me or any of these that you think you like. And then you can also change the shape and color. So if I wanted it to be purple, I could make it purple and change the shape of it. And then there also is an option to upload your own logo to be part of the QR code. So for example, that's where the logo would be. And all you would have to do is just click Upload Your Own. And then, as I mentioned before, when you're finished, you can save it a few different ways. You can take a screenshot, you can click this download, or you can also print it out. So another website, it really just depends on which one you like better. I just wanted to give a few different options for people that wanted a different one. So this is another one, it's called QR Code Monkey. And so firstly, you can just find more about this here by clicking About. If you're interested in that, you can also click Chrome app. And this is the part that really drew me in, is that you can actually add it to Chrome so that it's added to your Chrome web store, which I think is really great. So that's another option, so that you don't need to download an app. You can just add it to your Chrome web store. And then from there, you can also, if you want to be more, use QR codes a bit more, you can actually join the QR code studio, but that is not necessary. And then there's also the option to change the language. So from here, it's quite similar to the last one I was showing. You can add in a URL. You can also add in just some text, an email, phone number, a text message, vCard, MeCard, location, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Wi-Fi, event, which will allow you to create an event. If you have an event and you want people to know when to come, you can just enter the location and then information about that. And then there's also Bitcoin option as well. So as I did before, I'm just gonna put in a website that I wanna make a QR code for, and then I can also set some colors. So if I want a single color, I can just click a color. If I wanted maybe blue, or I could do a colored gradient or custom eye color. So that's just a little bit of more of the formatting. And then you can also do a background color if you don't want it to be white. And then from there, you are also able to add a logo image. So I could add my own if I wanted to, but I'm gonna click Instagram. And then you also have the option to customize your design and your iframe shape. So I'm happy with the ones that are here. And then from there, all you have to do is click Create QR Code. And that is the QR code I designed. You can definitely spend a bit more time playing with the colors and everything to make it more appealing, but this is kind of just a demonstration of all the different things that you can do. And then from there, again, you can either print it, download PNG, or take a screenshot. And then if you do want to make edits to this, you can just go back, but when you're done, just make sure to click the Create QR Code again to change it. So that concludes the live demonstration and the presentation.